Once upon a time, there was a blonde girl with blue eyes called Goldilocks. One day, she was walking, jumping, hopping, singing, and dancing in the forest. But suddenly, she got lost. So she started to go walking, and this is so a yellow door.
A yellow door and a tree.
Wow, it was a house.
It was a house in a tree.
Wow, so Goldilocks knocked at the door. But nobody answered because the family of 3 bears were out for a walk in the forest.
Hello.
And nobody answered. So she opened the yellow door and she entered. And she went into the kitchen. And there she saw 3 bowls. 3 bowls on a table. A big bowl, a small bowl, and a tiny bowl. So she smelled.
Porridge.
And she tasted the big bowl of porridge. And she said,
No. It's too hot.
wow, so she tasted the small bowl of porridge. And she said,
No. It's too cold.
and now she tasted a tiny bowl of porridge. And she said,
It's just right.
and she ate it all up. Oh, and now the bowl was empty. The bowl was empty and Goldilocks was full and tired. So she decided to go into the living room. And she sat down on the big chair. And she said,
No. It's too high.
and then she sat down on the small chair. And she said,
No. It's too low.
so finally she decided to sit down on the tiny chair. And she said,
It's just right.
but suddenly, the chair was broken. And Goldilocks said,
Ow, my back size.
so now she felt so sleepy and she went upstairs. She went upstairs. She opened the door of the bedroom and there she saw a big bed, a small bed and a tiny bed. And Goldilocks lied on the big bed and said,
No. It's too
hard.
hard.
So then Goldilocks lied on the small bed and said,
No. It's too soft.
and finally she saw the tiny bed and lied on it. And she said,
It's just right.
oh, and she fell asleep. And suddenly the 3 bears came back home. They opened the yellow door and they entered the house. They went into the kitchen and Daddy Bear looked at the big bowl and said,
Someone you tasting my porridge.
and Mommy Bear looked at the small bowl and said,
Oh no, someone tasting my porridge.
and finally Baby Bear looked at the tiny little bowl and said,
Mommy, Daddy, look, someone tasting my porridge and tasting.
oh, and it was empty. So Baby Bear was so sad. Mommy and Daddy were so angry. So they went into the living room. And Daddy Bear looked at the big chair and said,
Someone is sitting on that chair.
and Mommy Bear looked at the small chair and said,
Oh no, someone's been sitting on my chair.
oh, and finally, Baby Bear looked at the tiny chair and said,
Mommy, Daddy, look, someone is sitting on my chair and broken.
oh, so now Mommy, Baby and Daddy were so scared. And they decided to go upstairs.
Una, dos y tres.
Shh. And they opened the door of the bedroom. And Daddy Bear looked at the big bed and said,
Someone did lie on my bed.
oh, and Mommy Bear looked at the small bed and said,
Oh no, someone did lie on my bed.
oh, and Baby Bear looked at the tiny little bed and said,
Mommy, Daddy, look, someone did lie on my bed.
oh, and she was sleeping there.
Sleeping there.
So the three bears said,
Oh, is that girl?
so Goldilocks was happily sleeping. But suddenly she woke up and she saw the three bears.
1, 2, 3. Help! Help!
So she went into the living room,
Into the kitchen.
into the kitchen, opened the yellow door, into the forest, back home, and she never came back to the house of the three bears. Bye bye.
Bye bye.